Hi, my name is Rachel Fannan, and this is my interview with APM Music. My dad is a classical pianist, and my mom was also musical, but she was a singer, so I grew up listening to my mom sing a lot. So where my dad was into classical music and kind of a nerd, my mom was into the Everly Brothers and like the Association and the Mamas and the Papas. So I had the pop melodies and the pop lyricism over the romantic classical stuff from a very early age. So it was interesting layers to grow up with. I think my earliest musical inspiration would probably be Fiona Apple. As a piano player, I grew up as a pianist. Her music really spoke to me from that place of just being able to accompany yourself. I thought that was so badass. That cover with her eyes just piercing out at you and, very dramatic and mysterious. And her lyricism was so poetic. When I first started singing and playing, I got a lot of comparisons to Fiona Apple, so which isn't a bad thing for me. She's amazing. I was a touring musician looking for gigs in between tours, and a friend of a friend said, I work for this nonprofit. Would you be interested in teaching at a high school in South Central? And I said, yeah, let's go. I have to give my dad and my stepmom a little credit because my stepmother was a piano instructor. My dad was the choir director of the youth choir at my church, at my elementary school. Now that I work at the School of Rock in Portland, I find the things that my dad and my stepmom shared with me coming up every day, honestly. Okay, so the Marigold Experiment was inspired by a journal that I saw at an art installation somewhere. And that's all I can remember. I just remember reading through and seeing the phrase, the Marigold Experiment, and thinking, what's that, That could be anything. And I held on to that and decided to use that as the title for an album of pretty hi-fi experimental / pop songs that they kind of land somewhere in between SZA and Bjork. Most of the songs are just about my experience of being a musician in Los Angeles, the dynamics that go on with me and other musicians there. There's a few relationship songs about partners and family members. And so, the genesis of the Marigold Experiment was kind of abstract in the beginning, but then over the course of 3 years of recording it, moving from Los Angeles to Portland, where I was actually able to finish it here, just having the time to do that here. Yeah, it definitely took shape as I sort of released things that weren't working and held on to things that were working, which kind of became the metaphor for the album, let what happens naturally happen. There's a life-death cycle to all living things, and it's not to be feared, it's to be embraced. And just like a plant, you can come in and out like with seasons. You might go dormant during the winter, but it's all part of your bigger picture. I mean, this was the first time that I didn't, honestly. I had always heard that advice from people in the music industry, like, don't write for sync, don't write with the intention of having this go somewhere. But I don't think I had ever been in a financial situation where I wasn't looking at music as part of my job. I'm lucky to be able to even say that. But so this was the first just pure expression. I was not observing myself in any way. I was kind of just letting it come out however it came out. I would love to see my music in a show like Euphoria. I think it really sweats a little bit, and in a good way. I would love, gosh, I would just love to collaborate on a theme song, especially with the boom in streaming services. Now there are so many different opportunities to showcase musicians in that way. There's, you know, some musicians might disagree with me, but I feel like there's more opportunities than there used to be.